What's going on, guys? Doolum here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about my Cosmic Crucible Week 1 in review. We're going to see what went wrong, what went right, and then we're going to see what I'm doing for my defense for Week 2 to absolutely stump your opponents, and it's with one easy mechanic in the game, and that's pre-taunts. So if you're ready, let's get into it. All right, coming in here, you could see I did go 3-0 Final Judgment champion, so I am at 1871, which is just at the top of Diamond 3, right on the cusp of a promotion to Masters. So the deflation was almost mitigated entirely by this 3-0. But let's get into round number 1 against Ada. We had attack number 1. We used SD, CGR, and Kestrel. And I did not use Robbie Reyes here because I had him on defense for something I was trying out that did not work the way I thought it would. But this counter still worked well. Obviously, this is kind of on the average side of a Spider Society from what I'm used to. Honestly, I'm really used to seeing like 2.5, 2.7s. So 2.2 wasn't bad. This worked pretty well. We got some defense downs because they can get defense down outside of raids. So we got defense downs for Kestrel pings, CGR flips everything, and Secret Defenders just do a lot of good stuff here. It's even easier with Robbie, and you keep the CGR over Doctor Strange. Room number 2, we had New Warriors Lizard. Pretty straightforward here. I used the Lizard to make sure everything came off of Black Cat, and I was kind of a luxury because I didn't need Lizard anywhere else, so I decided to use him here. Room number 3, MOE going into an extreme, and things went wrong real quick here. It was kind of rough, honestly. Smaller people that I wasn't used to, so I got the Rogue Taunt, which was kind of unfortunate. The 3-Diamond Gambit was eating my lunch. But yeah, still a one-shot, 83.58, but could have been way better. Should have been probably a 67 if all my characters were healthy. Room number 4, we got Cabal, Zemo, and Emma going against a Darkhold Dorm and Black Knight. Zemo is becoming one of my absolute favorite characters to run with Cabal because it just gives them so much speed right off rip because, you know, Baron Zemo goes at about 190 speed or something like that. He gets a crit super early and then gives speed up way earlier to all the Cabal members. Emma in there was just for safety because there's an Emma left, so I didn't want to take any chances. Once again, didn't need her elsewhere, but I probably did not need Emma here at all. But it was, again, I didn't need it anywhere else, so I just used it here. Room number 5, this counter still works like a charm, and I absolutely love it. So we've got Superior 6 minus the Lizard, which is what a lot of people have been doing lately because Lizard is such a great asset on offense. So I used Doom, Undying, and APOC. APOC takes the ride. Doom goes boom. You got to make sure Zuggs is on the corner, though, with Doom next to him so he gets hit. The Gregs do great things in rewinding, so you can make sure that your Doom can go before them, and he gets pushed, and he gets a revive in this room as well, because this is room 5, so it's really nice. APOC just wipes the field here, and it's pretty straightforward. Coming in, and then room number 6, we've got Tangled, Eternals, BTS going into an Infinity Watch Quicksilver, and with this matchup, you need to make sure you ult Quicksilver with Big Time Spider-Man. Do not try to special to take the revives off if there is a Quicksilver with Infinity Watch, especially in room 6, because room 6, they're spreading all of their buffs, and Nebula is usually placed right next to Quicksilver. So when Nebula ults, she's giving all of her buffs to Quicksilver. So that's going to give dodge, immunity, all this stuff that you don't want Quicksilver to have. So make sure you use the BTS ultimate to put Disrupt on him before anybody else goes, and then pretty much just target Quicksilver with the 2099 ult, the Weaver ult to trauma stun him, and then that's most likely going to push him past 50. He will have that trauma, though, so he won't break the stun, and then Scarlet Witch will come out, and that pretty much guarantees a double tap for your Icarus, and then it's a win. It's pretty straightforward. So let's get into what my defense did. So I had Infinity Watch Quicksilver in 1. They used Eternals, BTS, Rolk, and Omega Red, and you can see this was a little bit less efficient than my fight. Also, it's in room 1, so the vulnerables will end up healing them as well, which kind of helps out, makes them a little bit tankier, so I do enjoy that. Room number 2, this was before we found out New Warriors was countering the Old Man Logan teams. So it's pretty much new warriors with just Old Man Logan, but he did absolutely nothing here. It was literally just new warriors were stomping this. And then obviously it was a really good efficiency as well, but Old Man Logan was not needed here. If you play this right, it's a really easy fight to take out Mercs with new warriors. But until that payout comes, then everything's going to change. Room number 3, he did MOE against my Extreme with Rogue. Went pretty well for him. Actually went better than mine. 2 points better, so good for him. Room number 4, the absolute stumper. Full Spider Society at 2.5 million. Lizard, Tangled, Rolk, and Nova couldn't beat it. Then Lizard, Tangled, Kestrel, Nova dropped fight and barely even touched them. And then he tried to come back in with a Hive Mind and could not get it done. So Spider Society is taking this Cosmic Crucible by storm. They're absolutely nuts in room 4 and absolutely nuts in room 6. So absolutely use Spider Society on defense. They are really, really good and not really taking anything from your offense. Room number 5, I have Superior 6 with Vulture, and they used the dorky comp with Hawkeye, Minerva, Doom, Vol, and Sus, and this dude limped through this. Sus had already died, lost his revive, and he almost lost this. This was a real close matchup, so this was a good win for me. And then room number 6, he used APOC, Vulture, and Cabal here against my Dorm, Thanos, Cap, Sus, and BK. A good fight here, honestly. He used Vulture and APOC here. He probably could have used APOC in 4 to bolster this a little bit over like the roll or over the Nova, and then use the Rolk APOC combo for the speed. But he was really scared of this room, and rightfully so. This room looks daunting, especially with G19 on the 2 big fat boys here. But round 1 was a win because he could not clear room 4. Next round, we went against a guy named Hughes, who I have gone against before. In room number 1, he had Tangled with Out of Time, essentially dropping CGR and Starnak. So I used Cabal with Lizard, because Lizard obviously gets a bunch of speed because of the Hero Spider-Verse. Ulted with Lizard to get the Raider crit right off rip. And then pretty much Cabal did everything. Omega Red was just another big villain here for percent damage in case that Black Knight was living more than I wanted him to. So kind of an insurance policy to break through these tankier characters, because obviously Cap and Peggy are super tanky as well. Room number 2, one of my absolute favorite counters that we have found, using literally 3 Horsemen, APOC, and Echo. Echo shuts down the assists here, so Old Man Logan will not assist off of the Noir taking his first turn. APOC passive does not let Noir put bleeds out on the field here, so they don't get speed from that. Then Red Hulk specials, not into Old Man Logan anywhere, but hitting Old Man Logan, because if he gets hit, he gets speed bar. He gives speed to Rogue, because you have him adjacent to Rogue, and he'll also give speed to APOC. APOC can then do his Falcon Punch. APOC Falcon punches, and even if you push Panda and you can't kill him and you can't Falcon punch the Old Man Logan, guess what? Then Rogue uses her big fat trauma ability block, every negative effect in the game on Old Man Logan, and he is absolutely neutered. And then from there, it's a cakewalk. And this fight is so fun. Please go check out my video. I think Echo is on the thumbnail, and it says Echo owns Old Man Logan. Go check out that counter. It is absolutely disgusting. Room number 3, again, MOE going into an extreme with Rogue. This one was pretty big, so this was a worse fight here. Room number 4, Infinity Watch. I had some fun here. I used Eternals, BTS, Kestrel, and Old Man Logan. I was trying Old Man Logan on offense here. You'll see what I had in room 2 instead. This was just for funsies, honestly. It's an Infinity Watch. It still gets beat by Eternals and BTS. And I needed Tangled here. Because I used Tangled Hive Mind here against this really weird comp. It was MLF, Rolk, OR, Wong, and Vulture. So a super odd comp in room 5. Just trying to get the revives for these 3, I guess. And I don't know. There wasn't too crazy about this. But Rolk here almost did ult. I got really lucky that my 2099 was just in time to special him. So that worked well. And then room number 6, New Warriors into SD with Dorm, and this was a mistake on my part. SD with Dorm, in room 6 is a pretty nutty room because what happens is Ms. Marvel will ult turn 1, and then guess what? We have Black Cat will get a taunt because she is adjacent to Ms. Marvel Hardlight, and then when Gwen specials, Gwen most likely will not take off the taunt from Black Cat, so then you're stuck on the Black Cat and stuck ulting with Firestar. So this can get really ugly. And then also, it's kind of a cheese because people are trying to make this the timeout room because the buffs take so long to spread that it's literally causing people to time out because of that. So it's kind of trying to cheese that and making people really panic into this room. Essentially, if I brought Lizard in here, it would have been no issues whatsoever, but I didn't because I used Lizard in room 1. So this was kind of a trap room here. Coming into defense, he used Pegasus on my Infinity Watch Quicksilver. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not building Infinity Watch. I will never build them. They're at what they're at, and they will stay there. It's not worth taking them up. Room number 2, he used Superior 6 on my SD Emma MLF, which is just fine with me. He used Superior 6, obviously not Vulture, and used a Mysterio here. Once again, fine with me. Room number 3, MOE into a full extreme, because remember, I kept that rogue for offense. Room number 4, used Quicksilver with Spider Society into my Spider Society. I don't recommend this fight because it's at 83.55. This looks like an absolute slog, honestly, and I'm assuming this fight went very, very correct for him to make this work. I couldn't watch the replays. You can see the replays are gone, unfortunately. Room number 5, tried to use Hive Mind Sus into my Superior 6 with Vulture, and it failed. Yeah, it failed, which is shocking, honestly. And then came in with the Undying Doom and Emma in here as a cleanup, which worked pretty well, surprisingly. But again, this did not go well for him. This was a defense win. I'll take it. Then coming into room number 6, we've got Cabal, Void Knight, Lizard, and there is no reason to bring Lizard into this room. Stop doing it. There's no Spider-Verse characters here to speed up. There's none. Also, I switched Cap and I put in Nova here because I realized I wasn't really using Nova that much on offense. So I put Nova in here because he's going to Nova Force turn 1 and give them even more tankiness. And tankiness and Black Knight just go hand in hand. And then he came in with New Warriors APOC into this after, and it did pretty well. But yeah, stop using Lizard into this comp. Also, Lizard needed to be a Raider here because guess what? Void Knight critting does nothing for Cabal because he's a hero. So make sure you guys are focusing on that. It has to be a villain, and it has to be Raider so they can crit to bolster Cabal. So round 2 was a win, and then we'll get into round number 3 going against Graven. So room number 1, this man had Mercs for Money, Black Knight, and I said, you know what? We're going to one-shot this. Emma was not needed here whatsoever, by the way. But Baron Zemo absolutely was. Zemo goes turn 1, gets that crit, speeds everybody up super quickly, and then just dies, essentially. And then Cabal just do Cabal things. And then you pretty much delete everybody. My Namor just absolutely donkey punches the entire field. Old Man Logan gets hit like a freight train. Once again, after payouts, you'll probably have to focus Old Man Logan to make sure he actually does die. But remember, with Cabal, he is not getting the speed bar because of the Iron Patriot passive. But just take this with a grain of salt and make sure you focus Old Man Logan for these fights because they're going to get a lot harder once those payouts come in. Room number 2, New Warriors, Lizard. Same old comp here, Noir, SD. Super straightforward, super easy. Room number 3, I did have a drop fight because of a misplay here. I Moonstoned Specialed on Nightcrawler while he had a bunch of dodges, and that should not have happened. That was my bad. I'm stupid. But that's okay. It happens to the best of us. And then I came back in with Pegasus and for an easy cleanup. Room number 4, again, I do not take this room lightly. I used APOC. I used Rolk. I used MLF, Omega Red, and Archangel, who just died instantly. This room can be a nuisance. Do not underestimate this room, especially when you're seeing 3 million Spider Societies. They suck to fight. Do not take this room for granted, and definitely don't look at this team and go, they're super easy. They are not. Room number 5, that's right. This works. As long as there's no Lizard in room number 5, this works. I have a level 1 Doctor Strange, and this works. If you want to see this work, check out my video from Friday. My CC video from Friday will have this fight in here. But yeah, Strange does absolutely nothing here. He dies turn 1. He just gives the speed passively to Ms. Marvel Hardlight. You rewind Green Goblin Classic. You special Green Goblin Classic with Black Cat, and he gets ability blocked. And then you pretty much just focus whoever is going to die quickly. And it's over. And it's done. And then you put a blind out with Photon, and it's over. It's literally the most trivial fight ever. And I got to use a 572 power Doctor Strange to get a win. And an 8364. So it's an 8368 if you guys have a Strange that doesn't end up dying. But yeah, this is a great fight. I love this counter. This is awesome. And then room number 6, we use Tangled Eternals BTS against an Infinity Watch Quicksilver. And once again, make sure you ult Quicksilver with Big Time Spider-Man, and you are good to go. And then let's get into defense. So he used Pegasus against my Infinity Watch Quicksilver. Once again, it's Pegasus. Good for you. Woohoo! Room number 2, he New Warriors echoed my merch for money. Noir with Cap, and he has the right team, but he played it wrong. So he actually specialed with Gwenpool instead of basicking. And once again, in my video, I show the replay to this fight. I'm not going to show it here because this video goes super long as always. But do not special with Gwen turn 1. You want to basic and just not hit Old Man Logan, and then Firestar ult on Old Man Logan, and he pretty much bleeds out from there. Room number 3, MOE did great against my Extreme Rogue. He didn't goof it and play it like me. Room number 4, he used APOC, Rolk, Archangel, Rogue, and BTS here. Honestly, really good fight for him, but this is an expensive room to be able to beat my Spider Society, and you'll see I threw a Black Knight in there. That's right. I'm that kind of bad human. Room number 5, he used Sus Hive Mind, and his Sus Hive Mind did work. But he also has a 3 million sus Hive Mind. Diamond out with Gwen and Red Goblin, so that's probably a big factor into it. And then room number 6, he was on the struggle bus. He tried to, once again, I don't know why, use Lizard here. Lizard does not get speed here without Hero Spider-Verse on the other side, or Spider-Verse in general. Stop doing it. It doesn't do anything. Stop. He's only got 126 speed, and you're giving him a bunch of buffs. Super Scroll ults turn 1, and it's over. Stop doing that. Then came back in with a Tangled, Undying as a sack, and then had to come back in with Cabal. So got me the win. But let's check out what I've learned and what I have for defense for round 2, week 2, to see what you guys can use on your Cosmic Crucible. All right, coming into room number 1, we've got nothing special whatsoever. I am keeping the Infinity Watch Quicksilver here because I honestly cannot find a better option here that does not neuter what I have on offense, or that just it works better somewhere else, that it doesn't work better somewhere else. So I'm just going to keep this. I know it's going to keep getting Pegasus. Honestly, if it keeps getting Pegasus, fine. Quicksilver is eventually going to punish somebody who Pegasuses it, which I'll take it. It is what it is. Once again, I'm not going to build my Infinity Watch. It is not worth it in my opinion. So I will keep this here, and this will keep doing what it's doing. It is what it is, kind of a placeholder for something once we find something better that does not take away from rooms 2 through 6. But this room, again, it's here just to be here. It's not really stopping anything. It is what it is. Let's figure out next room. All right, next room, we've got Mercs for money with a Zuggs pre-taunt. And the reason why is because if people are trying to use the New Warriors Echo comp into here, guess what? They would have to special with Gwen to take the taunt off of Zuggs. And if not, then guess what? They're still stuck on the taunt. And then Firestar ult can't hit Old Man Logan like it needs to. So you're going to take Old Man Logan and you're going to move him right over here. That's right. So all those bleeds do not end up hitting Old Man Logan. So that is how we're going to get around the New Warriors comp. So this is now going to force that APOC Rolk comp to be able to get through this. because it's going to cause those issues with that pre-taunt, because new warriors, you literally cannot special with Gwen, or else you're going to give too much speed to Old Man Logan and you will lose. So keep that in mind. This is a great way to force the Red Hulk comp. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep Noir in here for reasons that I don't want to talk about right now, because I don't want to give answers away to things. I am probably going to end up moving Noir to offense for very specific reasons. I don't know specifically yet who I'm going to put next, but use your freaking brain. You can do it. I'm not going to give you all the answers, and I'm not going to play Cosmic Crucible for you. Use your brain, figure out a different fifth that's not Noir if you want Noir for offense. But yeah, use your freaking brain. That's it. Next room. Now, coming into room number 3, we've got Extreme with Rogue. Same thing we've had in here. And I know I used the APOC comp with Rogue, and it worked really great. But we have found out that you can do the exact same thing with MLF instead of Rogue. And MLF, because Old Man Logan and Dakin are controllers, so the MLF ult will end up putting trauma and ability block on both of them. So yeah, we don't need the Rogue, and Rogue is better on defense than MLF is. So that's why we're sticking with Extreme with Rogue in here. I do have a 3-diamond Nightcrawler now, and Nightcrawler will probably be G19 relatively soon as well. So this room is going to get super big for me super quick. Again, healer on Forge as well, because Forge is a great healer in Cosmic Crucible, because he just makes this team live a lot longer. But yeah, super straightforward. Room number 3. All right, room number 4. I'm a terrible human. That's right. Black Knight coming in with Spider Society. You already hated Spider Society, so I said, you know what? Let's put a Black Knight in here just to be even more of a bad human. So Black Knight in here just causes way more problems. Also, Black Knight in this room is a dream come true, because he's putting trauma on everybody with his passive. So they're not going to be able to clear negative effects if they have trauma. Now, will they? So those negative effects that you're clearing on turn are not clearing on turn, which makes Black Knight in this room absolutely nutty. And then guess what? Spider Society has a bunch of clears and a bunch of immunities and a bunch of all that good stuff. So this room is just a nuisance and usually takes an APOC, a Super Scroll, something really good in here to take it out. But again, in that room 2, you're kind of forcing an APOC in there. And then in room 6 that I have is going to force another problem. And then in room 5, I'm forcing another problem. So let's get to room 5. That's right. Room number 5. You saw the Secret Defenders counter to this. Well, this is how you counter the Secret Defenders counter. You have Bishop in here. So guess what? You can't do the rewind on Green Goblin. And if you don't do the rewind on Green Goblin, he will go before Black Cat. So you do the Ms. Marvel Hardlight ultimate on Bishop here, and then it only rewinds Bishop and Doc Ock, and then guess what? Green Goblin Classic goes, rewinds everybody, takes off those death proofs from Secret Defenders, from Black Cat, and then this team just starts zooming. So this is the way to counter the Secret Defenders. The other character you can throw in here is the 5th to counter something else that people throw in here a lot is that Doom Undying APOC comp, and there's 2 characters you can throw in here to neuter that comp. You could throw in an Archangel in here, because guess what? He's going to counteract what those Gregs are doing from those 10% turn meter. And honestly, if your Archangel is big enough, relatively good sized, the amount of pings that you're going to be getting could accidentally just kill somebody, which would be pretty damn funny. And then just destroy this comp. The other option is going to be Kestrel to make the Gregs just never spawn in, which is also really funny. But Kestrel is really good for offense, so I would say keep the Archangel here if you want to counter that. But again, if somebody uses APOC here, then they won't have APOC for 4, and then they won't have APOC for 2. So that's a win in my books, and I'm okay with that. That counts as a win for me, and that's why I'm going to be running Superior 6 with Bishop, keeping Lizard for offense because he's such an asset on offense. Coming in to room number 6. That's right. It's pretty much exactly what I've been running. It's going to be that Super Scroll, Thanos, Dorm, instead of Cap and BK, I'm now running Vol and Nova. And the reasons why is Nova is going to ult turn 1 and put that Nova Force out there. That will make this team very tanky. Nova is also 126 speed, so he's pretty quick, which is great. And guess what? You also have Vol putting out Exposed. Vol has the Exposed mechanic who gets energy, and her ult is already 2 less than it is. So you only need to hit 2 Exposed to get Vol to the 8-turn ultimate instead of the 10-turn ultimate. Guess who also has an Exposed mechanic? That's right, Super Scroll! Now, I know Super Scroll is going to ult turn 1, but if he does get to that special, and then he does put out that Exposed, then it's going to make Vol end up ulting and then just deleting folks here. Thanos, once again here for the energy. My Thanos is absolutely massive. He's 1 diamond, G18, level 100. You could put Fortifier on him if you really want to, but it's not going to do too much. And then Dormammu here, obviously the ult, the big fat rebalance of health, offense down, defense down, all that good stuff. This room still pulls Cabal without Black Knight, so that's why I'm throwing this in here, so now I can have Black Knight elsewhere. And this room is still an absolute nuisance, so that is going to be my defense for week number 2. But that's it, gents. My defense for week number 2. It's gonna be nasty. I know people were saying, I think Dorky was saying this is gonna be an offense meta. Once we get those Old Man Logan payouts and we have problems where New Warriors Echo is not doing anything to Old Man Logan, this is going to be a super defense meta, and it's going to be a great time. I'm super excited for it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys took something from this and learned. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, y'all.